all of you all that are gonna go home and write a biography on how wrong this is, you guys can kick rocks. What's up, fam? Candace Parker here. I'm gonna do a tier ranking of WNBA players. I'm gonna try. Then you got Angel Reese. I put her right at that C level.
Candace Parker just lit a fire under Angel Reese's fanbase, and the internet is still trying to put it out. The WNBA icon didn't hold back, placing Reese in the C tier, and that alone was enough to send her supporters into full meltdown mode. But instead of walking it back, Parker came back with receipts, numbers and facts that made her case even stronger, and left Reese's defenders scrambling. Because while Angel's been stacking up double-doubles and celebrating every stat line, her team has been racking up losses just as fast. And once you take a closer look at the stats everyone's hyping, you'll realize those double-doubles don't actually move the needle when it comes to winning basketball. They look nice on paper, but in reality, they're empty calories. Parker didn't just criticize, she exposed what might be the biggest illusion in the WNBA right now. If you're riding with Candace on this one, drop a "baby giraffe" in the comments. Let's get into it.
How many times have I said Angel Reese is not an impact player? I mean, she definitely has an impact on losing, but Angel Reese has absolutely no effect on winning. If you don't believe me, go ask Teresa Weatherspoon, or ask her current head coach Tyler Marsh, who will soon be joining Teresa in the food stamp line, hoping to get enough Ethiopian breadcrumbs to make it through the winter. Or ask Candace Parker.
Picture this. One of the most respected figures in women's basketball drops a player ranking, and the internet absolutely explodes. Candace Parker, a 7-time All-Star and 2-time MVP, placed Angel Reese in the C tier. Not A. Not B, C. Right there next to an injured Cameron Brink. Basically saying Reese is more of a work in progress than a rising star. No special treatment. No superstar status. Just another young player still figuring things out, at least in Parker's eyes. And that comparison? It hit Reese's fanbase like a gut punch.
I think in terms of being above, you have to be able to have the ability to carry a team, be a 1 or 2 option. I think Angel Reese is fantastic at her role, which is offensive rebounding. She showed and demonstrated so much growth in that first year. I think that this is my tier.
Parker didn't mince words about why Reese earned this placement. She explained that to rank higher, you have to be able to have the ability to carry your team, be a 1 or 2 option. Parker acknowledged Reese's offensive rebounding skills, but made it crystal clear that Reese functions as a role player, not someone capable of leading a championship team.
Parker didn't sugarcoat anything when breaking down why Reese landed where she did. She made it clear, if you want to be ranked higher, you need to show you can carry a team, be a number 1 or number 2 option. Sure, she gave Reese credit for her offensive rebounding, but that was about it. According to Parker, Reese isn't a centerpiece, she's a role player, someone who supports, not leads. Meanwhile, names like Aya Wilson, Nafisa Collier, and Brianna Stewart were sitting comfortably in the elite S tier, with Caitlin Clark holding strong in the A tier. Reese? She was slotted in with players who are still trying to prove they belong in the conversation.
A'ja Wilson, reigning MVP, couple Defensive Player of the Years, 2 championships. If there was something higher than S, I would definitely put her up there. But Nafisa Collier, she's up there with top tier with A'ja. Just her ability to play on both sides of the ball, pump fake, she's gonna make you choose wrong. I know you guys are gonna say I'm biased because I'm putting all 4s at the S, but the 4s run the league. Don't ever forget that. Brianna Stewart, the versatility, reigning champion from last year. She's got 3 of them things. I don't think there's any debate with that.
The meltdown was instant and spectacular. Reese's supporters flooded social media, calling Parker a hater and questioning her motives. They couldn't believe their double-double queen was being ranked below players they considered less accomplished.
The backlash came fast, and it was loud. Reese's fans swarmed social media, accusing Candace Parker of being a hater and questioning what could possibly be behind such a disrespectful ranking. To them, it was unthinkable that their double-double queen was placed below players they saw as far less accomplished. The outrage hit a boiling point, with people demanding answers. But when the heat turned up, Parker didn't flinch. She stayed calm and composed. On the Good Follow podcast, she addressed the drama head-on, saying, "There's no hate on Angel Reese. I love her. I would never attack someone's character, ever." She made it crystal clear, this wasn't personal. It wasn't about who Reese is as a person, it was about basketball. Her evaluation was strictly professional, focused on skills, performance, and leadership, not popularity or hype.
And team leadership, not personal attacks. She emphasized that her comments came from a place of respect and professional evaluation.
This is where it gets tricky. Caitlin Clark is at an A level. I think in time she's going to raise up to that S, but in order to put her at that level, she's got to have a couple more years. So I'll put Kelsey Plum at the A level. Two-time champ, now took on the challenge to be #1 option in LA. I would say KP is definitely in that tier. I would love to put Sabrina Ionescu in that A range. She got that elusive championship. She's one of the best shooters in the WNBA, if not the best shooter in the WNBA.
You know what makes Candace Parker's critique so hard to argue with? Her resume does all the talking. This isn't just some talking head tossing out hot takes. This is a WNBA legend who's earned every ounce of credibility through years of dominance and a basketball IQ that's off the charts. When she speaks, the basketball world listens. Her player rankings weren't random, they revealed exactly what she values. Take Caitlin Clark, for example. Parker placing her in the A tier wasn't about hype, it was about impact. Clark has shown she can elevate her entire team, reshape an offense, and influence the game well beyond just her own stat line. That's the kind of leadership and game-changing presence Parker believes separates stars from role players.
Uh-oh, Candace Parker. You've upset the Reese's Pieces and they're not happy about it. They're gonna be coming after you any second. Oh, they're already coming after you. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. Candace Parker asked to put certain players in a tier list. You have the S tier, you have the A tier, you have the B tier, and you have the C tier. And where Candace Parker put Angel Reese on this list and her explanation about it, it has upset a large number of the Reese's Pieces delegation.
After Parker's comments, basketball analysts across the board started backing her up. They saw what many casual fans overlooked. There's a huge difference between putting up numbers and actually helping your team win. That's when the conversation shifted. People began asking the one question Reese's supporters weren't ready for. What is Candace Parker, one of the greatest to ever do it, seeing in Angel Reese's game that her fans just aren't? Because this wasn't personal. This wasn't a random jab. Parker's ranking was rooted in pure basketball fundamentals, the kind that separates solid role players from true franchise leaders.
Chicago Sky, y'all stink, bro. Y'all, look, there's trash and then there's trash. You know what I'm saying? But look, man, the Chicago Sky got destroyed by the stud butts. Everybody watches the stud butts. Shout out to Courtney Williams and Tisha Heiderman, man. Listen, stud butts stood on business today. Nafisa Collier stood on business today. They destroyed the Chicago Sky.
This is from last night's game. Angel Reese was back to doing Angel Reese things. Blowing layups, getting her own rebounds. They've turned her into a point forward. She had 9 turnovers last night. I think her plus minus was minus 19. But all we keep hearing about, she now has 2 double streaks of more than 10 games or 10 games plus. She had one last year. Now she has one this year. She's the first WNBA player to ever do this.
Then came the turning point, the game against the Minnesota Lynx. Angel Reese racked up 9 turnovers in a single night. And just like that, the blinders came off for a lot of people. What insiders had been quietly pointing out all season suddenly became impossible to ignore. This wasn't just an off night. This was the moment that peeled back the curtain and revealed the deeper issues in Reese's game, the ones her double-double numbers had been hiding all along.
Angel Reese, part 53, let's get it!
We love pry-ups.
Bang!
heard she went to dye her hair, and the stylist said, what color you want? And she said, butter pecan! Bah! She gets blocked by defenders who don't even bother jumping. Me bound. One more time. Bah! She almost had a triple-double. One more turnover, and she would have had it. Bah! 9 turnovers is crazy, so is a no-look poop pass. Oh, no! Bah!
Let's be honest about what really went down in that game. The Sky were holding their own early on, keeping pace with the Lynx and staying well within reach. But then, things started to unravel, and it all began with Angel Reese. Her decision-making took a nosedive. Instead of making the smart, simple plays, she started forcing passes that had no chance of getting through. Trying to make highlight reel assists when all they needed was basic execution. And as the Lynx turned up the pressure, Reese's composure just crumbled. Turnover after turnover, her basketball IQ seemed to vanish the moment things got tough.
She got the brakes beaten off of her. She had 9 turnovers and was just an awful. If you watch the game, she was awful.
Anyone know how that party rock song goes? Every day I'm shuffling. Do, 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 do. Bang! I know it's construction season and all, but who called in the bulldozer? Bang! And it was this play right here when 2K realized, yup, that's our cover athlete. 2K? More like 75K. Pay her more. Bang! Watching her play got me fiending football. Said, oh no, it's picked off again. Bang! Whoa, whoa, whoa. Settle down. You're going too fast. You're going too fast. On! Hey, I got an order here. It says a hip check. Bang!
And you know what made it even worse? It wasn't just that Reese was turning the ball over, it was how. These weren't the kind of mistakes you chalk up to elite defensive pressure. No, these were unforced, sloppy errors. Passes flying way over her teammates' heads, travels caused by messy footwork, and basic ball handling slips that would have a high school coach pulling their hair out. The Lynx didn't have to grind for those steals. Reese was practically gift-wrapping the ball and handing it to them.
Angel Reese is the double-double queen. They got the brakes beat off of them last night by the Minnesota Lynx. Angel Reese's double-double, I think 11 points, 11 rebounds, was meaningless and insignificant.
Here's where things really took a turn. Opposing coaches started breaking down that Lynx game tape like it was a cheat code. They saw a clear weakness, Reese under pressure, and turned it into a game plan. Teams began designing plays specifically to funnel the ball to Reese in uncomfortable spots, knowing there was a good chance she'd cough it up. And this wasn't just a one-time collapse. That 9-turnover disaster, it was just the most glaring example of an ongoing issue. Week after week, she was putting up big rebounding numbers, but at the same time, she was sabotaging her team with careless turnovers. The Sky weren't just losing, they were throwing away winnable games because their so-called star couldn't take care of the ball.
Through nearly 2 seasons in the WNBA, the only thing Angel Reese has proven is she can't win games. Angel Reese is not an impact player. She's not someone you can rely on to carry a team to a championship. The Chicago Bravado, they cannot rely on Angel Reese to secure off-season access to the Golden Toilet. Hell, she can't even get them to the playoffs. Angel Reese does not help your team win, and this is no longer just my opinion. Candace Parker feels the same way.
The most frustrating part? Chicago's coaching staff kept brushing it all off like it wasn't a big deal. Instead of tackling the issue head-on, they hid behind Reese's double-doubles, treating the turnover problem like it was just part of the learning curve. But while they were sugarcoating it, the losses kept piling up. Other teams were picking apart Reese's weaknesses, and the Sky had no answers. That 9-turnover game, it became the clearest evidence yet that Angel Reese's flashy stats don't tell the full story when it comes to winning basketball. You can grab every offensive rebound in sight, but if you're giving the ball away just as often, you're doing more harm than good. Sure, the box score looked decent, but the Sky still lost that game by 23. And that leads to the uncomfortable question no one seems willing to ask: what if Angel Reese playing fewer minutes actually helps the team more than it hurts?
Let's quit pretending like this is some sort of history we're seeing from Angel Reese with these double-doubles. It's not. It's a nice little stat that's pretty irrelevant, doesn't lead to victories, They lost by 20 some odd points last night to the Minnesota Lynx. The Lynx pretty much controlled that entire game. Angel Reese was no factor. We need to quit celebrating. Oh, she got a double-double. Well, yeah, they kept her in the fourth quarter when they were down by 20, and she, got a bucket or two and got to double-digit points.
The numbers don't lie, and they're absolutely brutal for Angel Reese's reputation. When the Chicago Sky keep her under 30 minutes a game, their win percentage skyrockets compared to when she logs heavy minutes. That trend doesn't just poke holes in the media narrative about her value, it shreds it completely. Let's be honest about what the data actually shows. The Sky function better with less Reese on the floor. The ball moves cleaner, teammates find better rhythm, and suddenly, Chicago looks like an actual team, not a disjointed group revolving around one player's obsession with padding rebounding stats. It's not about effort, it's about impact, and the numbers are exposing a truth few are willing to admit.